Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, loaf, and live the life we love. Today I'm going to tell the story of Bluebeard, and everything I do is to help in the yogic sense of developing ahimsa, which is refraining from conduct that causes pain, disturbance, or turbulence in another person, nonviolence, harmlessness. It's the old hippie in me. All you need is love. So I haven't changed that song. And I want to overcome my own naivete that doesn't want to see things in the world, that makes me vulnerable to negative forces. So I want my alarm system, my distant early warning system, to be alert and help me penetrate through the separateness that's apparent in the world, but is truly secondary when you have the vision of unity. So you could say there's a psychological need I believe we all have for belonging and deep relationship, deep connectedness in a world where sometimes it seems like there's none. And this is, of course, for me, because people are utterly deprived of mythology, the division in your imagination that connects you to the sacred center. So if you're going to make the best of whatever's on your plate now and in the future, what's to come, if you're going to achieve vibrational harmony with yourself, if you could learn to go on what I call a rampage of appreciation for this miracle of life that we're all involved in, if you'd let it pervade your whole body, if you would want to be a part of every single day, then take heed to this story. They said in an old convent at one time the nuns had kept this hank of hair. It was actually from a beard, and it was all blue, blue like a peacoat, blue like the dark lake. How it got there, nobody knows. But anyway, apparently one time it belonged to a man who had fine houses both in the country and in the town, and he decided to court three daughters. And so he took the daughters and the mother out on a picnic and wined them and dined them and had musicians playing and fantastic cuisine, and it was just beautiful. And he seemed so gallant. And then he said, "Well, I'd like to marry one of your daughters. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe you can tell me which one would be interested in being my wife." Now, the thing was, the two older daughters, although he was charming and stuff like that, they said, "His beard is blue. Is that weird or what?" So they said, "No, I don't think this is right." But the younger daughter, who didn't have much experience, who was like totally taken by all the fineries, and she said, "I'll marry him." So that's how it went. They had the wedding. It was beautiful. And then he brought his bride back to his house. And she was thrilled with all the finery that he had. And he said, "I'm going to show you all over the house. I have storerooms of beautiful um, clothes and musical instruments and fine wines and beautiful china, and you can go all over the house everywhere. And in fact, I have to go on a trip, and I'm going to give you the keys, invite your sisters to come over, show them everything, go into every single room. But you see this one little key? This is for that room that's at the end of the hall. Don't go in there. That's all I ask. All right, have fun." And so off he went. And of course, immediately her sisters were so excited to see the new digs that she had. So they came over, and it was true. They went all over his palatial mansion, and every room had something different and wonderful. And they were so thrilled for the sister. It was great. And then, of course, after they had gone through every single place, they noticed that room down the hall, we haven't gone there. He said, "No, well, I was told not to go there, so I'm not going to go." And of course, in these fairy tales, whenever you're verboten or finished, um, are warned, forewarned, forbidden not to go, it's fairy tale for code, you got to go. So, of course, the sisters cajoled her, and first she said, "No, my husband said I shouldn't do it." And they said, "Oh, come on, you're the mistress of the house. You can go anywhere." So at first she reneged, and then she went to the door and she opened the door, and slowly, there was hardly any light, so she couldn't see. But as she went further into the door, what she saw was the whole room was strewn with decapitated bodies and limbs chopped off, and all the women were still dressed in their wedding clothes. So she slammed the door when she saw that. She couldn't believe it. It was like a horror, like she'd never seen anything like that before. And when she took the key out of the door, she noticed that the key was bleeding. And when she told her sisters what happened, her sisters freaked out and ran. And so she did everything she could to scrape the blood off the key. But no matter how she cleaned it, by burning it or putting lye on it, scrubbing it, whatever, it kept on bleeding. So she just put the key away. And then, of course, immediately the husband came back and said, "Ah, my wife, I'm so happy to see you." But of course, she had that look on her face, like, when you're caught, the jig's up. He says, "Wife, what's wrong?" He said, "Oh, nothing, nothing. I'm just exhausted from showing my sisters around." All right, can I have my keychain? So she gave him the keychain, and he went, "So many keys on it. Seems a little light. Where is that little key I told you about?" He said, "Oh, it must have fallen off." "Oh, really? Get me the key." And so she went to the bedroom, got the key, and he saw it was bleeding. Said, "You went into the room, didn't you?" "No, I didn't." "Don't lie to me, woman." And seemed like he was going to caress her cheek, but he grabbed her hair and said, "Now you know the secret, and now you must die." "Oh, please, please don't." So, "I give you 15 minutes to make peace with your maker." Oh my God. So she ran upstairs and cried out to her sister, "Are my brothers coming? Are my brothers coming?" And 2 or 3 times he said, "Get down here right now, or I'll come up and behead you." And of course, as these stories goes, just in the 12th hour, her brothers came, and one was a musketeer, one was another commander in the army, and so they drew their swords and they killed Bluebeard, as his name was, and then she was able to become the mistress of the estate. But she narrowly escaped her own naivete, and I hope you understand the story about pay attention to your gut, to your intuition, to your instincts, that when they say, "I smell a rat, something is wrong here," don't follow the Bluebeard. Have a great day. Subscribe to GabrielHalpern.com. Watch the Good Vibration class starting next Wednesday on the Vedas. Every other week we'll do another scriptures through December. Join us. Let me know how I'm doing with this stuff.